Randy Green here. Just a little insight and update. Throughout this month, September 2025, we are having this level out month where technically the 3-9 pillar catches up, completes, and then begins to phase us into the 2-8 pillar work. Because of that, I have decided to run different levels of information that will assist us in that process, which I wasn't able to do last time with the 3-9 pillar because I didn't understand the dynamics until I was literally in the middle of it. And then it was difficult to do this catch up. But this time we actually have the possibility, or I have the opportunity to say, okay, now I know how this works. I went through 9 years with it, so I kind of have a good idea of how it works. I also have a fairly well understanding of the framework of the 2-8 pillar and all of the implications that are with that, and how we can navigate it into the subsidiary timeline, and how we can work with this as part of what we could call higher order psychological work. And that's all why I've changed the HAL Academy into now being HAL Online Therapy by Randy Green instead of just a HAL Academy, because that was all about learning the sciences of the 3-9 pillar. Now we're going into the rules of engagement, and that literally means self and others, and how we are navigating inside this reality in alignment with the otherness. And the new HAL Academy courses, they will go into deeper levels of some of these advanced multidimensional psychological levels of energy exchange, field regulation, trigger points, childhood wounds, and so forth, because the 2-8 pillar is going to be all about our lower level fields in alignment with our higher order multidimensional architecture, and how that plays in our interaction and interrelational rules of engagement, both within this reality and beyond, within the scope of the main timeline, the segregation dynamics, and the future possible level 1 civilization, which will play out the next 3 years, showing us in what direction we are going and where we are then phased into by our choices. And by the way, we orchestrate as well as administer our everyday life, our 3 lower fields, that is the biofield, the emotional field, the mental field, and our higher order levels from the heart field and up that connects to the template on different levels, either within the 4th cycle or within what remains of the 5th cycle. And with that understanding, we are literally getting to the point where we are going into the root races, the lineages, and the human projects. And the human projects is the last bit that will come, the last 3 years of the 2-8 pillar that runs from 2026 until 2035. So that will be from 2032 right to 2035. Sorry about that. So we're having these different sections that begins with the highest level, the first 3 years, then it goes into the middle domain, then next following 3 years, and then the last would be the lower level where it goes into humanity, where we are most likely, if there is to be any sorts of disclosure of non-human intelligences coexisting with us inside this reality field, that will be the final deadline for that to happen. And if it doesn't happen on a collective level, then the groups that have been selected will then begin to engage on a one-on-one within the rules of engagement as it was meant to from the get-go, but on the subsidiary timeline for a couple of years as part of the track that has been created by the non-human intelligences that are part of our solar system. And we're not talking about the parallel universal matrix races. We are not talking about the colonizers. We are talking about the original NHI, the humanoids that were here as part of this reality field long time ago. We're not talking Atlantis. We're not talking any of these. We are now beginning to go with the actual civilizations that are left and that were here from the get-go before all of the shenanigans happened, some 250,000 years ago, if not further back. Actually, I think it's 350,000 years ago, that goes with the Denisovians and some of the original human lineages that then spiraled or splintered off splintered off into the hidden people, of which We have some advanced human races that are living and coexisting with us inside this reality field, but hidden for most, since they're vibrating on a different level, they still have access to the fourth dimension, the original one. I'm not saying they're benevolence. I'm just saying these are the people of our planet that used to be there. I'm not talking about inner Earth. They are no longer there. So we're having this huge shift in who is there, who will pop up, who can we align with, and who will be part of this reality field in the years to come. And that's all under the rules of engagement. So a lot of things will have to unfold for those of us who are saying, well, I want to get onto that track with the NHI, the understanding of the advanced sciences and the level 1 civilization. As you also know, I'm working with on a scientific reality level on the randygreen.1. That will be the whole future humanities, where that will go, of which this podcast, of course, will focus on the joint field and what's going on, not the main timeline, because there's not much more to say there other than chaos, entropy, and all sorts of things that will make it pretty challenging for those who are still engaged with the main timeline or still connected to that. So, of course, we are to look into what does it then mean for those of us who are diverting now and going onto the track of the original NHI and the original humans that are not part of the progression sciences, but are part of this system that technically are behind what we call the hidden hand, but not the hidden hand we know, as I've explained, under social engineering, but another group, and these are what we call the white hats, that has joined for a long time, the hidden hand that has been part of the different operations to, again, create a world in a specific way, and that was working for them at the time, but it's not working for them anymore because everything is changing. So the whole thing is everybody's reorienting themselves. This specific month, September 2025, I have on the whole online therapy website, tuvai.dk, I have what's called updates, and I'll put a link below. You can subscribe to this 12-month process, which we are beginning now this month. And I already put out the foundational guideline and the work that we are to begin with, and some of the foundational podcasts, which I'll also put into the 2-8 pillar and New Grand Cycle recap course that will come later on. But only this month will you be able to sign up for that 12-year period where I literally take you by the hand through the processes of this transition that we are now undergoing, giving you a guideline each month and some whenever there are some updates in relation to our system. For instance, next month there are the possibilities of some very ancient cosmic dynamics that might hit us as a sort of wave. I haven't got enough information about that yet, but that is that is a possibility. And the 3i Atlas comet, quote unquote, that they're seeing out there's actually from some of these sections that are coming our way, and the whole thing is whether or not it will blend into our system depends on many different factors. We will know as we get into October. So what I'm here saying to you in this little update is that if you want to be part of that subscription, you subscribe this month. You will not be able to subscribe next month, because I'm here offering things that for one go, as with the Hope Future Education, that is also on the randygreen.1 website, that's for next year. I will not offer it again. Then I'll go into other levels of work, because the exponential growth rate is now no longer 2.0, it is 3.5. So things will grow pretty quickly and things will move very fast. And that is why I can only offer it one time. And then it will no longer be possible to sign up or be part of this, as these opportunities will leave and go away. And this is part of some of the 2-8 pillar dynamics, that we have very short windows of time to step into a new type of alignment with the track under the original NHI and the original humans on this planet. And then that window will fade away and it will not reappear, because we are at the end of the cleanup cycle process. So in that understanding, we then say, okay, this is the opportunity, this is the window, that's the step we take, that's where we align, and that is the work we will then be on the trajectory of. when we miss these windows, we will then be pushed into the main timeline on that window, on that possibility. So the 3.5 exponential growth rate, which I haven't made an article about, but I have one on the 2.0 or the exponential growth rate of 2. I'll put a link below as well so you can see what that is. But we are literally, things are growing, moving, changing so quickly because the main timeline is also changing, moving quickly, but within the dynamics of entropy and chaos. So we are to move the opposition as order, have to do it equally as fast, and that means that every day is literally an opportunity to create a new type of coherence pattern that will align us with that track that they have made, that will lead to the level 1 civilization for a specific group within humanity that choose to do so, because it's all voluntary. You could choose to do it or not. You can choose to be on the main timeline, and that's fine, or you can choose that if you have affinity for that kind of understanding, and you can choose to whatever you want to do. It's a free will system. So we have a lot of possibilities, and I'm not saying one is better than the other. It all depends on who and what we are, our lineage, the original root race, our emplacement into the system, what we were when we came in, what we want to become, how it resonates with us, and on and so forth. So that's just what I wanted to say in this one. So if you want to join the 12 monthly guidelines I am now putting out from this September until next year in August, where that will then stop. This is the month for you to sign up. It will not be possible to sign up next month. So this is the window you have for this month. And the longer you wait into this month, the more you will lose the potentials of the energies of this month. That is literally like a carrier wave that is pushing us to the highest degree possible to align with both the subsidiary timeline infusions, but also there is a kind of momentum that builds up when the new cycle, a new pillar activation and cleanup cycle is initiated. And that's the wave we're trying to catch. And that's why I'm putting out this offer. But of course, it's all up to you, what you want to do. There's not, if I haven't do that, then things will not go well or whatever. It's just a proposal, so to speak. I'm just offering this for those of you who need a little extra hand to carry you through this process. As many of you already knows this, and you're working completely perfectly on your own. So it's just a support for those who would like to do this. So look at the link below, see what that implies. And of course, if you feel for it, then sign up. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine too. Okay, until next time, take care.